Hello, my friends. This place has some dark secret and we need to find out about it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. He remembered his childhood. In fact, this was wrong, because Simon remembered only one part from his past. When Simon was 5 years old, he heard a conversation. His parents talked about their relatives, who worked at night. Simon could not remember where his relatives worked, but the main thing was completely different. At this time, he clearly decided that night work was the scariest thing in the world. Everything has its time. People had to use wisdom and do everything at the right time. The night was time for sleep. He never would work at night. Right now, the workplace was quite shiny, but Simon could not say that the sun was flying in the sky. Because of floodlights, Simon was seeing everything. "Okay boys, time to rest," Johnny screamed. Simon wanted to throw the shovel and go somewhere. Yes, he needed to leave this place and go far away. In reality, when he came there, his first thought was absolutely the same. Simon did not like the job. "I came here in the morning," Simon said and smiled. And maybe it seemed very funny. The man who comes in the morning and wants to leave in the evening. Workers entered the building. Simon wanted to drink warm tea and eat tasty food, but something happened. Like the others, he went to the table and laid a shovel on it. At this time, Simon looked out the window and saw something terrible. There were 2 more buildings in front of their building. In the center of these buildings was free space. The darkness had covered this creature, but the head. Yes, Simon saw the creature's head. At that moment, he realized how big the creature was. Else the creature had so scary face. Big red eyes and giant fangs. And the look. Yes, he had such a scary face. Simon thought the creature's body was full of anger. "The dog!" Simon screamed. Maybe in a different situation, everyone would have stood up and approached him, but the workers were tired. They did not like what he was screaming. "You need to stop your mouth, boy," Josh said. Surprised, Simon turned back and tried to explain. "The giant dog is standing outside." The tired workers looked at him. They had angry faces and wanted silence. "The giant fist will meet you, boy," a middle-aged man said. Simon looked at everyone. He tried to find support. It was futile. Simon needed to stop. Otherwise, workers would become much angrier. Unfortunately, the young man did not understand this. He wanted to continue talking. "We need to do something," Simon noted. The workers really bothered. At this time Josh stood up and came to Simon. He looked out the window and said, "No one is there." Simon turned back and looked outside. Josh was right. The creature like a dog disappeared. "But I saw it," Simon said. A few workers stood up. Maybe they wanted to fight? "Hey, bro," Josh said to Simon. "You need to eat and drink." Simon understood that creature was outside, but angry people were inside. The creature could not enter the building. However, the workers were inside the building and they could attack him. Simon sat down in the chair and started eating. Only now Simon felt how tired he was. That he warmed his frozen body. He soon forgot a strange creature and began to speak with Josh. They talked about their families. How nice it was to be in the house. How good it was to have a good job. The talking could continue, but workers came and said that Simon was supposed to bring food with dogs. Josh smiled and noted. You started talking about the dog. Now you take care of them. When other workers left the room, Simon said. In reality, it was not the dog. Josh once again smiled and asked. And what it was? Simon did not like the smile. Which person likes when everyone notes that he is an unserious person? Of course, no one. Angry Simon stood up. Josh stopped him and asked. Calm down, bro. Okay, say what you saw. I saw a monster, Simon answered and left the room. Simon was going to the dog's room. Maybe it sounded stupid, but it was not his problem. He needed to pass the long and dark corridor. Simon was holding a large paper bag full of meat. He became very angry. So many people thought that he was a stupid person. And why it happened? Simon only said that he saw the giant dog. He opened the door and entered the big room. The cold wind touched him. The main door of the room was broken. The snowflakes were coming inside the room. Everywhere blood and that sound. Yes, sound of the death. The dogs were dead. And only one creature was looking at Simon. The monster had bloody fangs. Maybe only his look could kill people, but fortunately, Simon was a strong person. The white werewolf roared and Simon dropped the paper bag. He quickly entered the corridor and locked the door. His scream caught attention. The workers woke up. Simon went on the second floor and entered the sleeping room. The angry workers were looking at him. What the hell are you doing? One man screamed. The second man hit Simon. The young man fell down. The workers wanted to finish the job and beat Simon, but Josh stopped them. The white werewolf. Simon stood up. This monster killed all dogs. Biggest idiocy in the world. One worker screamed. At this time Johnny entered the room. Hey, girls, what happened? He smiled. Only a simple fight and nothing more. Josh tried to solve everything. Johnny was the leader of all groups. He ran an electric station. That morning, Johnny came here with powerhouse workers and road workers. Right now he explained how great opportunities they had. Simon, Josh, and other people were cleaning the ways. They had to contend with snow. When Johnny finished his philosophical conversations, only after that he asked what happened. The werewolf. Simon answered. The white werewolf is here. After a few seconds, Simon thought that he made a big mistake. No one believed him. Of course, Johnny will start to laugh and say what an idiot Simon is. And Simon saw the fear. Yes, he clearly saw that Johnny became a little scared kid. Johnny looked around. Maybe he could start crying. Simon thought that Johnny will ask many questions, but suddenly the leader screamed. What? What the stupid things are you talking about? Johnny slapped him on the face. The monster killed our dogs. Simon once again tried to explain. Why are you saying that shit? Johnny asked and screamed like some crazy boy. Everyone became surprised. No one trusted Simon, but Johnny did some crazy things. Why did he become so crazy? Why did he start screaming like some kind of troubled teenager? Maybe we will check the dog's room? Josh asked. Johnny immediately looked at him and answered. Do you trust this lame boy? I think that we need to check a dog's room. Josh answered. Okay, no problem. Johnny smiled. He walked into the dog room. Workers followed him. Johnny did not want this, but people did what they needed to do. When workers saw the horrible picture, everyone looked at each other. They wanted to know what the hell happened. Workers became angry. Being there was dangerous. Who thinks the werewolf did all this? Johnny smiled. I don't believe in monsters, but the dogs are dead. Josh said. The wolves. Johnny screamed. Suddenly he became happy. The wolves did all this. But in the past, did you say that an electric station is a safer place? Josh asked. Johnny started talking. He spoke for so long that everyone was tired. Johnny told that a few wolves cannot stop the electric station. Johnny had the guard and they would protect the electric station. On the next night, everyone continued to work. Simon was one step ahead. He knew that the electric station had a strange secret. Johnny wanted to hide this secret. Simon clearly saw that Johnny will do everything. Simon and other workers were struggling. They had a very hard job. The snow did not want to surrender. Guards walked around. All of them had a shotgun. Maybe other workers were thinking that guard will protect them, but Simon knew the truth. Johnny showed his power. Johnny clearly showed how powerful he was. If someone says something against Johnny, the guards will take care of them, Simon said. The electric station at the bottom of the universe. The white werewolf. A leader who wants to hide something and says that everything is okay. The armed guards. Something bad was going on there. I'm so tired, one worker said and turned back. Everyone looked at him. After that, something moved in the snow. Yes, it came out of the snow. After a few seconds, the white werewolf stood up. Everyone screamed. The poor man turned back. It was late. One hit and the claws ended his life. Simon, you were right, Josh said. The guards started shooting, but after a few minutes of all them were dead. At this time workers entered the building and locked the door. What werewolf is doing? Josh asked. Simon looked out the window and answered. The monster is leaving this place. Everyone knew what to do. They needed to meet with Johnny. This liar told that working in the electric station was safe. And what happened? The white werewolf attacked them. They went on the second floor and entered Johnny's cabinet. Who gave you the right to enter? Johnny asked Simon. Hey idiot! Josh screamed. The werewolf killed your people. Only now Simon saw the money. Yes, a lot of money was on the table. You have a big salary, Simon noted. And why the boss pays you such big money? Because you are searching for fools like us. Workers are dying and you earn the money. Johnny looked at the money and answered. I am here for the first time. Boss said that werewolf was here and guards would protect us. I know only one thing. This electric station is very important. The workers had many questions, but the window behind Johnny broke up. The white werewolf caught Johnny. Josh tried to save Johnny, but one attack with claws and he fell down. After this werewolf jumped down and ran away. The monster took Johnny. Simon helped Joshua. He took Josh in the sleeping room. What do you feel? Simon asked. Death. Josh smiled. It is so close. Don't talk about this. Simon interrupted him. You will be all right. The workers decided to meet with electric station workers. Everyone needed to leave this place. Several people went to the electric station. After a few minutes, they returned and said that everyone was dead. We will use the bus. One man screamed. They went outside and entered the bus. Simon was looking at them. Yes, the bus was going. Simon said that he will not leave his friend. In reality, Simon only wanted to be a cool guy. Simon, you are so brave. A few minutes earlier many workers said this. Simon knew that White Werewolf will attack the bus. No, he knew how werewolves will kill everyone. No one realized that for powerful people is nothing to a werewolf. Why Johnny did not come to the electric station with killers? Why Boss did not kill the werewolf? Because there were a lot of werewolves. No one noticed that werewolf which attacked them outside and which took Johnny was different. And now Simon saw how they attacked the bus. The white werewolves were coming from everywhere. 5 minutes later, there were only dead people, blood, and a bus. Simon returned to Josh. What happened? He asked. Our friends are far away. Simon lied. They will tell everything in the police. They will save us. Simon did not want Josh to feel much worse. Only one question. Simon said. What? Josh asked. I want to know how people built this electric station. Simon said. If there were werewolves, how humans did all these? Maybe werewolves came here after humans? Josh asked. It is an interesting idea. Simon smiled. After this, he went outside. In the territory was one big building. Johnny said nothing about this building. Simon knew that he needed to see every secret place. Only the secret places are hiding dangerous reality, he said. After this Simon came to one dead guard. He took his shotgun and shot the building's door. Simon opened the door and entered the building. There were many cages. Yes, many cages, and all of them were broken. Suddenly Simon started smiling. The situation was so funny and also very terrifying. He understood that many years ago influential people caught werewolves. They wanted to build the electric station, but this was very hard. And why? Because in the snowy desert it was necessary to build an electric station. For humans, it would be very hard. And the fools took werewolves. Yes, these monsters really built the whole place. After this, they somehow escaped and became killed everyone. Simon returned to Joshua. Unfortunately, Josh was already dead. How are you? Simon asked. He needed someone. Loneliness was so hard. After this Simon once again went outside. He wanted a quick death. Simon was walking in the snow desert. The werewolves were surrounded him. Come on! Simon screamed. I'm here! My life will end. One werewolf came close and said. You are the last one. And what? Simon asked. The best man will survive. The white werewolf answered. After that, the werewolf bit him. Everything became absolutely black. Simon opened his eyes and stood up. He was the white werewolf. Yes, Simon became one of them. At first, he looked at the other werewolves. Then Simon raised his head and saw the moon. The winter called his name. All nature wanted to be with him. Simon howled and looked again at the moon.